Hello world, this is Nick Hood again for Sneakers 101. I wanted to do something cool for Black History Month, so February and all. I got a cool little find that I picked up and I thought hopefully you enjoy it. Um, you may or may not have seen these before. Obviously it's a Nike Dunk, but you might notice the kind of unique stitching. And if you look close, you can see the Untold Truth collection. And also, you probably can't see it very well, but the Veracruz on the side. And what's really kind of cool is really the whole shoe is pretty cool. But the tongue, if you can see that, has a number 20 on it. And the name, Josh Gibson on the tongue written on it. Very good, very cool stitching on it. Very cool shoe in general, just a very nice pickup. But the reason I chose those and why I think they're so cool is because one, most people aren't familiar with who Josh Gibson is, and I actually had no idea myself until I looked him up. And I implore you to look him up. Google him. Google Josh Gibson or Joshua Gibson. And I'm not a big baseball fan, so baseball really doesn't do much for me. But knowing that these are based off of a Negro League player, Nike did a advertising kind of a deal, promo or whatever, and it included Joshua Gibson. It included Satchel Paige and Buck O'Neil. Me living in Kansas City, and that's where I reside, Missouri, which is where the Monarchs played, where Satchel Paige and Buck O'Neil played as well. So, kind of hit home a little bit. So that's really cool for me. But where it hits home for, I would hope, for everybody else is, first off, Joshua Gibson was known as the Black Babe Ruth. Most everybody knows who Babe Ruth is. And the fact that he was even in the same, breath of Babe Ruth, it was even suggested that he was better, as he was a pitcher. He was a catcher, but he was also this monster hitter. Like this guy was crazy apparently. But there's a couple of cool things I wanted you to check out about it. Is that one, he actually died 3 months prior to the kind of drop in the color lines as far as the Negro League, the division between the Negro League and the majors. So he didn't actually get the opportunity to play in the majors, which is kind of sad. That's kind of messed up. But what also was kind of cool is that he broke so many records. Like he was an awesome athlete. But he played for a couple of other teams. When he first came into the league, he played for the Pittsburgh Crawfords in 1930 to 1937, and that's where he got to start, just doing his thing. And then he moved to the Homestead Grays, which was 1937 to 1946. After that, he played for Latin League, which is why they came up with this color scheme, which is an interesting color scheme. And it was called, my Spanish is kind of bad, but Rojas de Aguilar de Veracruz. And that was 1940 to 1941, where he played there. So that was in between the Homestead Grays. But, so it was kind of interesting that they chose to do this color pattern, being that he probably did most of his damage when he played earlier in his career. But so that's one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about with Nike. And it's kind of like the goods and bads and positives and negatives of the shoe itself. I love the stitching on it, for one thing. I think the stitching is extremely cool. Very cool. But I noticed that with this particular shoe, Nike did a lot of hits and misses, and I decided to call this video "Hit and Miss," Nike Hit and Miss. Nike, as everybody knows, is the top of the line. You know, when it comes to popularity, creativity, just pretty much pushing the bounds for everything. And I think with these, they really miss mostly than anything else. The promotion that they did for them was obviously a Negro League deal. One, I think they may have chose the wrong team to actually showcase how good Joshua Smith, or Joshua Gibson was. And then, like I said, the color scheme also. I don't know where you live in the world, but you know, putting red and blue together doesn't often get you, the popularity vote. It might actually get you shot in some places. So that also is a kind of a hit. And I don't know if you can see very well, but this is actually brown, and then the Nike sign is actually white. So that's another miss. That's a huge miss. So the color scheme, or the colorway, the choice of team for Joshua Gibson was also another miss, a huge miss. And then another thing I did with research that I found out, which is another miss, huge miss, with marketing, is that because of the team that they chose, that retailers had no idea that it was actually supposed to be a Joshua Gibson shoe. So people in Pittsburgh didn't even get an opportunity, which he is at the top of the list as far as players, of Negro League players, and very well known. And they didn't get the opportunity to even, one, the retailers didn't know what they were, so they didn't carry them. They didn't want to carry them. They didn't know what they were, And so the communication skills was another miss that Nike completely dropped the ball on that. And I think that had they done that, then these shoes would have been a lot more popular. Apparently, they're very rare, extremely rare, very hard to find shoe. This one is a 13, and it is used, and it will be up for sale on eBay. If you are interested in them, then you can either let me know. On Sneaky Feet on Gmail, or you can just send a message through YouTube, or they'll be on eBay under Sneaky Feet. You can look under sellers, or you can just look them up directly. The sellers would be Sneaky Feet 123_2013. So you can look them up there. You can contact me directly, Nick Hood, or you can just do either one of those. But you can check under. They'll be under actually Joshua Gibson, Nikes or Dunks or whatever. Let's see, that's not it. Really, I kind of wanted to keep this one real short. They were released in 2007, and like I said, a complete miss, mainly on Nike. I don't think they really hit on anything besides just really kind of making like a really cool shoe. Like the shoe, even though all those negatives, like I don't know if you can see on the inside, but like the kind of pinstripe with the brown and burgundy. Well, actually, it looks like red. Is really nice. I mean, the shoe itself is just a very well put together piece of art. And just real quick, like I wanted this to be, sorry about that. I want this to be a short video, so I don't want to make this one go too long. But I also want to showcase a couple things that I am going to also have posted on eBay for sale. First is another kind of a rare shoe that I thought was pretty neat. It's also another Dunk. You can see that the color was kind of like a lava type color, and it's kind of an interesting kind of an orange, and then you got obviously the lime green laces and swoosh on the side, and red interior. These are under, I believe if you try to look them up, they are, oh, this is black, by the way. Oh, this is black. They are, I believe, the Cactus Pack is what they're called, but they're also known as Wild Color. And they definitely are. Like the midsole is, it looks like it will glow in the dark. It's kind of clear somewhat, kind of a foggy type look. So those are pretty cool. That's another pickup that'll be on live. Okay, this is another one that I really like. Sorry about that. This is another one that I really like. Obviously it's a Converse Chuck Taylor original. See that? All black with the white sole. But on the inside of the shoe, this is for all my cartoon fans, 80s fans, 80s babies. You got Thundercats. It depicts pretty much everybody. Lion-O, I don't really know the rest of them. Chitara, the big dude, and I don't know nobody's name. I didn't do the research on that, so I'll get back to you on that. But then on the outside is very cool, as the Thundercat symbol. So those are pretty neat. And then I got one more I want to show you. Because this one is an Adidas Centennial. And it was a special promotion that Adidas did that was called End to End. And the colorway is just amazing. It's all white, obviously in green, but they have all kinds of cool art on the back. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a guy with a spray paint can, and it's pretty much all about graffiti. This whole promotion was done with graffiti artists, like street artists. On the back, you can kind of see some guys look like they're dancing or doing some type of break dancing or something. And then I think this is the signature of the guy who did this particular design, and I can't see what it says, so I'm gonna go into that. But very cool. These will also be on there. So if you got any questions or ideas or anything you want me to do on the video on, just let me know. This is Nick Hood, and I'm out.